sorry for bursting in on this, but I had an uncanny feeling you're looking at watches again, aren't you?
Well, maybe.
What have I said about this? We can't keep doing this. How many watches have you got? You've only got 2 arms.
What? I'm just window shopping. There's absolutely no harm in that at all.
Right, you promise me then that you're not going to be buying a Doxa 300 sub.
I promise I shall not buy a Doxa 300.
I'm going to leave you with that, and if you go back on your word, I will beat 7 shades out you mind. I have done it before and I will do it again. Right, I shall leave you to it. I'm going for a latte.
Right. Soxa mod.
What, he didn't say I couldn't build a watch that looked like a Doxa, did he? Let's crack on, should we? So, I'm not going to lie, I've got the thing for this Doxa 300 sub, and what can I say, it is the ultimate tool watch / dive watch in my mind. It was designed with no compromise. It was designed to do a function, not for looks or anything like that. It was designed to do a job, and it did it very, very well indeed, and many divers over the years have used it and also advertised it as such. However, I don't have the thousands of pounds to buy one, so let's make a mod. So first off, I'm going to need a few parts such as case, movement, dial, hands, bezel, crystal, and obviously a bracelet, all with kinda Doxa Sub / looks to them. So first protocol was eBay, and I managed to pick up this kind of modded turtle here for 156 quid, give or take a few quid. We then need some dial, hands, and obviously a bezel, and these all came from Yoki Boki's, other styles available as you can see. We also need a top hat crystal to give the vintage theme, and a couple of bracelets and straps. The bracelet here came from Watch Gotcha Beads of Rice, of course. So moving on, we need to first gut the turtle, so out with the movement, and then we need to take those horrible Mercedes hands off, and then that very bland dial, so out the way with you as well. Then we're left with a lovely 4R36 movement. This will be the basis for our mod. On goes the sub 200 dial there, as we can see, lovely in yellow, and onto that these lovely sub style hands, big minute hand, the lovely blocky kind of theme to that. This is where we're going with this mod. It looks absolutely superb. With the movement done, it's then onto the case, and I'm going to warn you now, if you don't like blood, look away, because I did injure myself trying to take the bezel off and I cut my finger. Bit of blood here and there, but you know, blood, sweat and tears for modding, that's what this is all about. However, I did eventually get the bezel off, as you can see there. I'm leaving the original chapter ring in, which was a bonus. This is basically a freebie. You won't see the chapter ring under the top hat unless you look at it at an angle, so it will fit in with the mod very nicely indeed, in my personal opinion. So with that, I then installed the Doxa style bezel, as you can see there, with its 2 scales, absolutely superb. Yellow again, just to match the actual dial itself. You need to keep everything matching. It's pointless mix matching all these things. And then we go to the top hat crystal, as you can see there. This is a nice thick top hat crystal as well, maybe a bit more than the original Doxa, but it gives that lovely vintage theme, and it's a big chunky tool watch kind of aesthetic. And then we come to the finished article, and what can I say, just look at that ticking away there. It is an absolute work of art, and I think this is going to tickle my itch for a Doxa no end. And with that all out the way, I think I'm going to pick a bracelet to stick on this watch and have a bit of a deeper look, so let's move on. And there we have it, the Seiko Turtle Doxa mod, or as it's affectionately known, the Soxa mod. And do you know what? It's absolutely superb. I've worn this on the wrist for a week now, and I absolutely love it. It just stands out. It wears so comfortable. It's a Seiko Turtle, of course, so it's going to do that, even with my 6 3/4 inch wrist size, which is a bit on the small side, but hey ho, it still wears spot on. Now, I've put it on this Beads of Rice bracelet here from Watch Gecko. I will get into that in a second because there's a few things I want to cover on that as well. But before I get into all that, I am just going to compare the specs of the Seiko Turtle Doxa mod on my left and the Doxa on my right here, just so you can see basically what's different between the two watches. So stop the video here if you want a quick read. So as you can tell by the specifications, the Soxa mod is basically bigger in all aspects, case diameter, case height, lug to lug. However, like I say, that is not a bad point. Like the Seiko Turtle case is absolutely superb. Even for a guy like me with 6 3/4 inch wrists, it fits spot on. The other thing is, when you mate it up to a bracelet such as this Beads of Rice one from Watch Gecko, it just wears absolutely superbly. And the other big point about this, and which many people would do this mod for, is price. Now one day I will get a Doxa, but I do not have £2,400 to just throw away on a brand new one. I can get them under £2,000 if I wanted a second hand one, but at this moment in time I don't even have that to spare. So doing the mod was the sensible way to go to scratch that itch. Now parts wise, I would dare say you'd be looking at around about 300, 350 quid for parts, depending on where you went looking, such as I got the watch off eBay quite cheaply, so that basically brought that down quite considerably. The other thing you have to think of is labour on top if you're not building it yourself, and you're going to be looking at, I would dare say, between £450 to £550 depending on where you go. But take into account that a lot of Seikos nowadays, like the King Turtles and things like that, even some watches that have 4 or 36 movements in from Seiko, are that price plus more, and thousands upon thousands of people have them. Not many people have this mod, so I think it is a steal at that price. So looking at the parts, the majority of them actually came from a company called Yogi Bokies, which is Seiko Boy spelled backwards, and that's the dial, the hands, and also this very nice bezel here. And do you know what? The quality of them is absolutely top notch. If I was going to be picky, I would dare say the dial loom needs to be a bit more in your face. It's not bright compared to the hands. The hands are spectacular, the dial is a bit kind of mediocre, but that's only a little niggle. Overall, the quality of the parts is absolutely superb. The actual crystal you could get from the same company, however, I've gone with DLW just because that's my kind of one-stop shop, along with 1 Second Closer, for getting my watch crystals, because I've used them for years, I trust them, and every crystal I have is absolutely superb from them, so that's why I go to them. It's just force of habit. Chaptering, like I say, that came with the watch. However, if you were going to be doing this build, I would recommend getting this kind of brushed stainless look. Once you get the top hat crystal on, you can't see it looking down at the watch, and I think it just blends in quite nicely. The rest of the watch is pretty much stock. The movement, the crown, the case, it is all Seiko turtle through and through. Now let's have a closer look at the bracelet choice that I've gone with this watch. Now, I did actually buy two. I bought a tropic yellow rubber strap for this as well. However, once I fitted it to the watch and had a closer look, the yellow was ever so slightly off compared to the dial, but there was enough off to make it look absolutely terrible on the watch, so that went straight in your parts bin. It wasn't that expensive, so here I didn't really mind that. However, I did also opt for this lovely Beads of Rice bracelet from Watch Gotcha. It's actually a Zulu diver version, and you know what, on the wrist this is a very, very comfy bracelet indeed, and matches the whole aesthetic of the watch spot on. Now there's a few things I've kind of gone away from the actual original Doxa, such as it doesn't have fitted end links here. I've gone for straight end links, which gives it a lovely vintage theme. It also means you can actually grip the bezel at the top and the bottom very easily. It's got a very nice grip at the top and the bottom on that bezel, which I think is a very nice touch indeed. Now the bracelet itself, I'll give a 7.5 out of 10. The actual finishing on it is superb. It conforms to the wrist excellently. The clasp is very, very good. However, there's a few little niggles. One, it doesn't come with spring bars, which I was a bit disappointed. You can buy them on the site, but a lot of bracelets now will come with them as standard. Now, the only spring bars I actually had at the time were the fat Seiko spring bars, which I use in 99% of my builds. I just love them, so trying to find some thin ones in my parts boxes was a right pain in the backside. But I found some, and once they're on, that's fine. But like I say, that's more of a personal gripe because I don't have the stock at the moment of normal spring bars. I've just got thick ones, so yeah. The other thing is it's got split pins in these links. Now, it's a bit of a, some people prefer them over, you know, screw-ins, because obviously the screws do work the way out. If you don't Loctite them, people say the split links stay in better. They are a bit, I find, a pain in the arse to actually get in and out when you're initially setting the bracelet, and when you've got all these individual links in here, trying to feed it back in is also a right pain. However, once you've got it all set and done, you're never going to reset it again. You can just forget about it. So yet again, that's only a personal niggle for the first setup. The third niggle I've got is the clasp is very, very tight indeed to actually unlock and lock. I actually have to put my finger under the wrist and actually lever it open from the bottom part of the mechanism. Over time I know that will ease off because obviously it'll wear a bit and it'll kind of start to loosen off. So yet again, that's only a little kind of niggle. You want the actual clasp to be tighter rather than loose, so yeah, it's better to be like that than loose. So yeah, overall it is an absolutely spot on watch strap. So with that all covered, let's stick it on the wrist and have a look what it looks like. And here is the Soxa mod on my 6 3/4 inch wrist, and what can I say, it is absolutely superb. It looks the part, it feels comfy as anything, and it also has wrist presence, as you can see there. It sits high off the wrist but not uncomfortably high, more to do with the actual top hat crystal more than anything, but I do like the look, and having that Zulu diver bracelet on there as well just kind of suits the whole watch down to the ground, as comfy as anything. So with that all said, let's move on to my final conclusions. And there we have it, folks, the Seiko Doxa mod or Soxa mod. In all honesty, I would dare say this has got to be one of my most favourite builds I have done. It was just a dream to work on, other than drawing blood, which I'm still recovering, as you can see. But overall, it wears superbly, it looks absolutely superb, it scratches the itch for the Doxa like nothing else, without paying £2,600 or £400, whatever. You know what I'm getting at. Now, if you're a modder out there and you're debating whether to build this watch, please just go ahead and go to Yoki Bokies, go to other part supplies and just go, look, can I have the parts for this? If you're out there and you can't mod or you don't know how to do it, please get in touch. I'll be more than happy to build this mod for other people. I would like to do this mod again. It's just such a great mod to work on. Now, if you have liked this video and would like to see more, such as this Seiko skeleton mod or this little 50 fathoms mod here, please subscribe to the channel, like this video, and also press that bell icon so you get future notifications of videos when they do come about. And as always, like I say, keep safe, and I will see you soon.